I'm Eric Loy, and welcome to Eric Loy Interviews. On this podcast, we talk with folks from the VTuber community on their channels, their talents, their stories, where they come from, and their plans for the future. There she is, Miss America. I have to say that because I'm an old man. Hi!
Hello. My name is Miss America, or America for short.
Yeah.
I am the personification of the actual country, America.
Well, welcome to the show. I appreciate you coming on. You've had a rough couple of months, but congratulations for getting here. we appreciate you. We
Yeah.
appreciate you all the way through. Uh, so tell me, how did you get started with the VTubing community?
So, for the longest time, I have been sick with a autoimmune disease.
Hmm.
And so I was always forced to be inside. And then, I made this character of mine a long time ago, and then my friend was like, you have the energy and time and effort and courage and chemistry to become a VTuber. And I was like, no, that's not true. I was like, And they were like, do it, just do it. Trust me. And I'm like, okay, well, I'll try, but I don't know. And then I did it. And then I was like, "Oh my God, I've never been happier."
It was almost like it was made for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. That really is great that you're able to do that. So have you been you didn't really know about VTubing until somebody told you about it?
Well, I've known VTubing since 2020.
Uh-huh.
And uh my big inspiration for it besides my friend was Iron Mouse
Mm-hmm.
because she is also a person who has an autoimmune disease, and the only way she can be comforted and be happy is uh being herself on the internet.
Yeah.
Um and I was so enamored by it, and it was like, oh my God, I want to be like that.
Yeah, she strangely enough, maybe not so strangely, it's an inspiration of mine as well to get on here and just because she has such a great story and folks have been able to expand their worlds by this medium, and I enjoy talking to people and finding out what their stories are all about. So I was like, you know what? Let's interview some of these people. Let's find out what their story is, why they're here, and what they're all about. So here we are.
Yay!
And again, I appreciate everybody who comes in, such as yourself. Um, so you wanted to be an entertainer type of person?
Yeah, I actually have for a long time.
Hmm.
I think since I was maybe 12 years old.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to be on the internet and be a type of person who can share knowledge, history, love, and passion,
Hmm.
and to show that, you know, improve that history is a lot and you gotta learn it.
Yeah. The history is, and we're learning more and more every day. Um, the thing is, we learn about the further we get away from history. Sometimes the more we learn about it.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's I can tell folks a lot because I went to school back in the I say golden age, more like Stone Age, and every time we did a history class through grade school, it always ended with the Civil War.
Oh.
We every year we'd end with the Civil War, and that would be it. We didn't get any further. Wasn't until like junior high I found out that hey, the America still existed in like 1900, and we started learning about things that way. But the it is. Have you been a history type of person? Is that one of the things you like to check on?
Yeah, my passion for history started in fourth grade when my teacher taught us about the Lewis and Clark expedition.
Mm-hmm.
And then I realized how much there was to history, especially in different countries,
Mm,
and my world just exploded from there
mm.
because I was like, there's so much out there that it takes a lot of time and effort to really learn everything
Oh
in
yeah.
a sense,
Yeah.
especially um especially if you learn all the history from a specific country. It's a lot.
Oh yeah, it is. It is. I mean, I know it's kind of crude in some instances, but uh, I'll be just if I have an open time and not much else to do, I'll throw on I'll pick a random country, go to Wikipedia and find out what they're all about. their their history, learning about what these folks went through is an amazing way to live kind of vicariously through what they've done.
Mm.
Have you found that?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I learned a lot about the American history and you know, my ancestry is my like great, whatever,
Hmm.
uh fought in the revolution.
Oh,
So, yeah,
hey.
so it's the country itself is very important because my family throughout centuries have been fighting for
Mm,
it,
yeah,
and it's what's very important to me
cool.
because this nation is everything.
Yeah. Now, I unfortunately have to tell you that one of my ancestors fought against the United States in the War of 1812. He was on the wrong side. He actually was in the uh, Lake Erie uh, battle, was captured, went to Ohio, and met the woman he married, and lived to 106.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I'm like, well, he may have been on the wrong side, but he sure was stubborn. Uh, the 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 whole the whole concept of learning history has changed so much over the years. For us, in the '70s, it was whatever is in the book, and that's all you need to know. And now these days, everybody has the chance to really explore, find different um, points of view, maybe even look a little bit at what happened in history. It does make a big difference now with all of the tools that are available to
Mm.
you. So, have you do you find yourself scamming through YouTube or something on the computer to find out more and more about your subjects?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I am a more of a visual learner
Uh-huh.
than traditional learning. And I like most of the videos I watch is historical. Um, I think like the last thing I watched historically was like a 2 or 3 hour video of the Ottoman Empire.
Oh yeah.
Just its full history.
Oh, there's people don't even know what that means these days. A lot of people, but it was such a huge part of human history. Um,
Mm,
the their rise and spectacular fall, and it was spectacular. Eh,
definitely was.
and people need to, there is a website on YouTube, and I'm just going to bring this up out of the blue, called History Matters, and they do vignettes, little history vignettes, and the person does such a great job. I've learned more from that than I think I did through in the entirety of high school. Um,
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Hmm.
it's out there if you want to know, and you should want to know. It's all out there on your channel. What things do you like to do? What games do you like to play?
I love strategy, or simulation games, turn-based or even in real time
Hmm.
strategy. I also play gacha-like games
Hmm.
like Wuthering Waves, Genshin, stuff like that.
Yep.
And then anything that my viewers want me to play, I typically try to play that. Um I also play a game called Town of Salem, which is a game where you have to it's a lying game.
Right, right. It's something like old radio people to me would be good at. Lie
Yeah.
all the way through. I've heard I've seen that one. Now, Wuthering Waves. A lot of people gotten into that because of its connection to Genshin a little bit. Um, what do you think of it so far?
Honestly, I think I'm gonna quit Genshin for it
Oh,
because the Wuthering Waves is what Genshin should have been
oh,
in every sense of the word. Because the gacha system is a lot better and a lot luckier. You can get so many pulls very quickly
mm-hmm,
by just exploring, and there's so much of the map that it's insane.
mm,
Um, the characters are all really amazing. There's only like two characters that are like mid, but the rest are pretty really good. Um, I can play with all of them, which is surprising because typically in gacha games I don't do that
yeah, yeah, and stick
because
with
it's
stick.
usually you stick with something you play with,
Right,
right?
right.
Yeah,
But here you get
but
a chance to be a little more agile with it.
oh yeah. I get
Mm,
to explore what different play styles I didn't even think about.
mm.
Um, and the story so far is just amazing. I was just amazed, like jaw open, shocked at the graphics, the music, the scenes
Mm.
for animation. Everything just was screaming, "This is the better game."
Well, I gotta tell you, that's the first take I've heard about like that. There've been some folks who are a little critical of bugs in it. Have you found any of those yet?
I think I found like two bugs,
Yeah.
but for me, bugs don't make a game.
Uh,
So I can deal with lag, I can deal with issues, I can deal with bugs,
mm,
even if it's frustrating,
yeah.
because that's not what the game is. The game is a much don't associate bugs with the game. That's my thing.
Yeah.
That's my take.
Yeah. Play the game first, and then you know deal with those as they come up. But that's cool.
Yeah.
So that what you if I'm hearing it correctly, and I'm putting words in your mouth, you're going to be playing it for a while.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Does it have the potential to do like Genshin? I mean, well, Genshin might be its own category because of how long it's gone and the expansions. Do you think it could expand kind of like Genshin did and add more things to it as it goes?
Oh yeah. Definitely. As long as it has a fan base and enough players playing,
Hmm.
that thing is gonna go far.
It's going to be going for a year. It'll create its own history. That's what is going to happen after a while. You mentioned a bunch of other games that you like, the strategy type games. Um, Give me an example of one of those.
Hearts of Iron 4 is a real life in time strategy game where you have to it's based on World War II.
Mm,
You can either start in 1936 or 1939. You can choose any country and go to any path. So let's say you play as America. Well, most players do it the easy way and get out of the Great Depression by turning into communist or going far right.
yeah.
Um, but for me, I like playing the hard way, and I always do democratic, and somehow I always beat the bad guys
Yeah.
of like any time anywhere, and I'm like, how am I doing
Well, you have the advantage of kind of knowing how history went,
exactly?
so you can.
And there's a mode where it can go that makes it so it's an alternate
Mm,
history, so any country is played by an AI and they can turn anywhere or any path
Mm. So
So
you can have
yeah,
some countries join the Axis out of or maybe some joint of the Axis drop out, and yeah,
exactly.
so that would there's a lot of things that can that that are a part of that, and again, that's something I hope people will study. Yeah, it kind of sneaks you in the back door of studying about World War II, doesn't it?
Yeah, and there's a lot of battle strategy that's involved because you have to learn about units, different type of units, their bonuses, what they do, what how they work with a certain commander or not,
Mm.
or general. You have to make sure that you have the right stuff for them. You
Hmm.
always have to make so many factories
Yeah, you have to.
so they can have enough ammunition.
Oh, so this it's very in depth as far as that goes.
Oh yeah, it's very complicated.
Oh, that
And a
sounds.
lot of people I've known a lot of people who are like, I can't play this game, and I'm like, but it's fun.
but but it's in my wheelhouse. Well, it sounds like it really does sound like something you'd be really immersed in while you're playing it. And you're going to have to, otherwise you're not going to win.
Yeah, it's like it makes you feel like you're the seat of power of a country and you have to make decisions
Mm-hmm.
and also understand those decisions might have consequences in the future.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to plan ahead beyond what's normal.
Yeah, and had to plan ahead a lot more than they were able to do back then, and it
Exactly.
and that sounds like a lot of fun. Actually, I'm going to look into it.
It is, it is.
I'm going to look into it myself and drive my wife crazy with it. Um, I don't really need any help doing that, but I'm going to find another way to do it. Now, what has this medium meant to you? You have the condition that keeps you inside. This VTubing must be a very large part of your life right now.
Yes. It holds a special place in my heart because for a long time I've been out. I've always did like online school and growing up, and I didn't get to do much except for Girl Scouts. And the only way I could get socialization was Girl Scouts, which I am very thankful for.
Mhm.
But now that I'm graduated, I I'm stuck at home all the time. And then, when I was in, I already knew about VTubing, but they were like, you should do it. So I did it. And now I'm like, I'm never going back. This is a place where I feel happy and I generally feel like I belong.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I have I'm high functioning autistic as well.
Mhm.
So for a long time I certain groups just didn't feel right to me where
Right.
I never felt belong.
Hmm.
And then I got into this one and I'm like, "Oh my God, I found it."
Ta-da! It really it's great to hear. I mean, obviously, your circumstances aren't something that people would like to come from, but
Mm,
you are the epitome of what I like to talk about people and their circumstances, where people aren't the product of their circumstances. To me, people are the triumph that comes from those circumstances,
yeah, exactly.
and you get to be one of them triumphs. It really is great to hear that how much you've been able to um, blossom. I'll use that word with the ability to use this particular medium.
Yeah, yeah. I just am much happier now because of it, and I've actually been more active and having a better sleep schedule,
Mm,
and it's turned my life around.
yeah, it's that's great to hear. I mean, obviously you're you've got a lot of energy. You have a great personality for this. Your voice is very good for this. Um,
Oh, thank you.
yeah, and I it I shudder to think if this was 20 years ago and this wasn't available, um, what you would have done? Because
Exactly.
yeah,
It's like I even think about that too. It's because like if we didn't have the technology, I don't know what I would have done because I can't get a job. I had to drop out from college
mm,
and I just, been miserable. So it's like I'm so thankful and grateful for having the technology there
mm. and and
to help.
and not only that, but you get to start your own community too.
Exactly.
Yeah, how's that gone for you?
Actually great. I am in a VTuber group
Hmm.
now called Gua Studios. I'm part of Gen 1 Mythic Magnus
Mm.
with uh Flare Elise, Raiko, and Twisted Spades.
We're gonna get them all on. They're in my sights. but it,
Yeah, yeah,
but
definitely.
but the being able to be a part of that, what does that mean to you?
It helps me learn about how to be a VTuber, how to manage my social media, and also just being with a friend group that is very amazing. Um, Especially Flare Elise. Her and I are very, very close, because of it,
Hmm.
and I would consider her one of my best friends.
And again, found through this medium.
Hmm.
So, so this is why it was all created for you. How about that?
Yeah.
you can you just remember that in the back of your head. Everything's going on. Uh, as far as interacting with the folks who come on, um, given given what you've come from and having to you know pretty much shelter, uh, it's been tough for you to interact with chat, or has it been easy for you?
Oh, it's been easy because interacting in the real world is terrifying,
Yeah.
but interacting online is just it's it's where like I feel safe,
Mm,
where like I know I'm safe and these people aren't gonna hurt me.
that's good. As long as you know what you're getting into.
Hmm.
But it's having that extra bit of protection, I guess I'll call it, with the model and going through an avatar. That gives you extra comfort to do this.
Yeah, yeah. I've always been very self insecure about myself, and my autoimmune disease hasn't helped with that either, especially because, I've gained a lot of weight
Mm.
because my thyroid is dying.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Uh,
so, having this character that I built for a long, long time, actually like 4 years now, I've
mm-hmm.
had this character. Um, but when I finally decided to share my character to the world and actually be her, I felt complete and happy because, this is a very special thing to me.
Yeah.
And I get to be myself without showing myself.
That's that then that makes you comfortable, and that's what we're looking for. Is that the ability to be comfortable with yourself on the internet, no matter how you do it, and you get to expand your horizons and in your neighborhood by doing so, which is wonderful. But now the question is, what are you going to do with it? Have you got some big plans? Have you got some long-term goals with your channel?
Oh yes. I have a very, very for this year, I want to get to 1,000 followers on Twitch.
Hmm.
Um, and I'm probably gonna do this for a long time
Hmm.
because it's pretty much the only thing I can do at the moment. Um, and right now I'm planning to release some songs that I've
Oh,
been working on. Yeah.
so you're going to be singing?
So I wrote a whole bunch of songs,
Hmm.
and then I've had a program help me with doing like I put all the tempo beats what I really want, and then it generates the voice for me because I am a terrible singer.
Hey, I haven't hit a note on purpose since 1985. No one will ever be able to arrest me for that. So I'm right up there. So you're able to use the technology to kind of those put that dream in flight.
Yeah, yeah. I've always wanted to be a songwriter or a singer for a long time, but I don't, even with some practice, I still suck at singing. So I wanted to, recently for a couple months now that I've been uh doing is that I've been, I did some research on how to write songs and
Mhm.
what good songs are or what not, what's not. And I've made a whole bunch of them, and I've been just mixing and matching different ones to see what they would sound like and what they, but each one is a story and each one is filled with a history or something specific to my character.
Cool. I can't wait to hear what's going on here. And I just want to say thank you for sharing
Hmm.
your wonderful self and talents with us, and coming on with me here. Um,
Yeah.
I'm glad. I'm happy to have met you here, and I hope that once you get some of these things going, get some of them songs up, we're gonna talk again if that's okay with you, and
Oh yeah, no, definitely.
we'll introduce him and talk more about this wonderful person, Miss America. We're gonna have the links that you can find out what Miss America is up to on the interview description here on the YouTube channel. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I could keep going with you for a long time, but I imagine Miss America's pretty busy. So, uh, thank you so much for coming on. We'll do it again, okay?
Yeah, no, thank you so much for having me on. It was a pleasure, and I'm really happy that I was.
Thank you for listening to Eric Loy Interviews. Join us again next time when we talk to another member of the always interesting VTuber community.